Hey church, happy Tuesday. I hope you are enjoying the sun today and not spending too much time, if you don't have to, staring at a screen. You can get outside and enjoy it. It is a good day. So today's Tuesday, and we're actually looking forward this week to Thursday, which is an important day in the life of the church. Thursday is the Feast of the Ascension. It's an old way of saying it's the day that we acknowledge that Jesus ascended to heaven. We do it on Thursday because the Bible tells us that Jesus, he appeared to his disciples for 40 days after rising from the dead, and this Thursday is 40 days since Easter. So it's an important day. Like I said, it's the day that we acknowledge the ascension and we remember the ascension, but the ascension is something that maybe even to you right now doesn't sound all that familiar. And it's because we don't talk about it very much. We mention it a lot. We don't talk about it very much. The creed, we say it every week. I believe he ascended into heaven, right? But often I think we get kind of confused about what the ascension is and certainly what it means. One thing that we kind of tend to do is we conflate or confuse the ascension with the resurrection. And those are totally different things, or at least they're different parts of Jesus's glorification. Resurrection is Easter, he rises from the dead, but then in his resurrected and glorified state, Jesus exists in body on this earth for 40 days and now in heaven for eternity. I'm going to read this from Luke chapter 24 for you. When he had led them out to the vicinity of Bethany, he lifted up his hands and blessed them. And while he was blessing them, he left them and was taken up into heaven. And they worshiped him and returned to Jerusalem with great joy. And they stayed continually at the temple praising God. It's funny because I think we often want to kind of separate spiritual from physical in ways that aren't really represented in the scriptures. In this text with Jesus ascending to heaven teaches us that that's the exact opposite of really what he's done. And so what's happened here is that Jesus has done this very physical thing. First, he leads his disciples out of the city and over to the area called Bethany. And then at Bethany, he lifts up his hands, his physical human hands. And then right in front of them, he physically and in his body ascends into heaven. And that ascension is not just a spiritual ascension. It's an ascension of his body. So it's not like like a cartoon where he like somebody dies and like their spirit separates from their body and like floats off, or it's not like he became an angel and like grew wings or something like that. It's actually his body. The man Jesus, the God man Jesus, ascended in that body into heaven, and now, as we confess in the creed, he sits at the right hand of God the Father Almighty, and he's going to come again. Those are the things. Now, the reason this is so important is not just that it's a miracle, although it is, and that's incredible, but it's also that what it teaches us about our bodies. Christ is coming again. And when we say we believe in the resurrection of the dead, which we confess in our creed, what we're talking about is Christ raising us from the dead. And on the last day, he'll come again and he'll gather his people to him, and we will be in a new creation, new heavens, new earth here on earth. For eternity. And just like these disciples who worshiped him, we are going to stay continually in the temple that is in his presence and praise him. So that's the promise we look forward to, and that's something the ascension means for us. When we acknowledge on Thursday that this is 40 days since Easter, and we remember that Jesus was raised from the dead, when we remember that he ascended into heaven, we remember at the very end of all of that this is just the beginning of him being in glory forever in that body, and that because he's done that, our bodies, this physical reality, will be redeemed as well. So if you're in pain and you're suffering and you kind of like the idea of being separated from the physical reality, know this: it's going to change. It's going to be different, and it's going to be redeemed and renewed in a way we can never understand, and we will be like these disciples, praising him continually. And it's going to be awesome. God's peace be with you today, church. I love you and miss you and hope to see you soon. God's peace.